How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Art of Everything. I'm Frank, and we're back at it again with another video. We're doing a review of the iPhone 12, which I have here in my pocket. Um, so, there's a lot of thoughts that I have upon this device, personal opinions on this device. So, reviews mainly go with specs, which I don't have it pulled up, but I'm gonna pull it up right now. And the reason being is because a lot of people go based off of specs, and there's one spec that I feel like is gonna be very, very integral part of my review, and there's a big reason why. And hopefully, I can transfer some files from this device onto my PC because um, the proof is in the pudding. Like they say, the proof is in the pudding. Sometimes people believe that you're just bashing a product or something like that, but it's not always the case. Like I said, I'm not an Apple sheep. I'm not an Apple fanboy or anything like that. I do like the phone. I'm happy I purchased it. I did have an iPhone 8 at one point, and I'm one of those people that be like, I'm not coughing up $1,000 on an iPhone just because personally I don't think it's worth the price. But with that being said, I'm just gonna go in real quick, just give you some specs. We all know it's a 6.1-inch display. We do have an OLED display this time. I think it's Super Retina OLED, whatever it's called. I'm not going. It's an OLED display. Um, then you have a 12 megapixel sensor. The primary sensor is 12 megapixels. Uh, Keep in mind, even the main sensor is a wide angle lens. Like, it's a wide lens in general. And then you have the super wide angle lens, which is also 12 megapixels. You have the Apple A14 Bionic chip, which we know, and you have a 2,815 milliamp hour battery, which isn't bad, to be honest with you. Depending what you're doing, the battery may last you all day. Like I said, depending what you're doing. Like yesterday, I went out to test out the camera and stuff like that, and I did shoot a lot of videos. I did take a lot of photos and things like that. And to my surprise, it did last the whole entire day. But then again, once I got home, I didn't use it much. I put it down and started watching football. But outside of that, we have 164 grams. So, it isn't heavy. Like, it's a little heavy. Like, my V60 is way heavier than this device. You have 4 gigs of RAM. And that right there is important. That's the main spec I wanted to talk about, but let's just go a little bit further down. You have Corning Gorilla Glass. Clearly, they talk about having that extra protection, that shield thing. I just can't, like, sometimes I feel like certain things are just extra. They just want to make it sound good. But that ceramic shield thing, I have a screen protector on the phone because I did see some reviews and some things about the screen still scratching easy. So, screen protector, people. Then clearly you have aluminum frame. We know that IP68, dust and water resistant, up to 6 meters for 30 minutes, which after having a device with an IP rating, it's kind of hard to go to a device without an IP rating as your daily driver. And the reason being is because, especially for a person like me, that I tend to walk a lot. Sometimes I walk to work. There were cases where I had to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning just because it would take me an hour to go to work, and it would be raining. And that's me walking at 4 o'clock. So I'll wake up at 3, be ready by 4, start heading out to work, and it's pouring rain. And no matter what umbrella you have, you're still going to get wet. And just knowing that you have that extra protection is very important to me. May not be important to everybody, but just having that in the back of your head that in reality your device isn't going to get messed up over some water, like a little bit of water, that's really, really important to me. So they call it a Super Retina XDR OLED HDR10 display. 625 nits, 1200 nits at peak. Like I said, 6.1 inches, 1170 by 2532. You have a 19.5 by 9 ratio. Ceramic glass, scratch resistant ceramic glass. I still don't believe that. I'm just being honest. You have Dolby Vision, wide color gamut, and True Tone. I do like True Tone. True Tone is good for the eyes, and it helps me out because the blue light I noticed going back to my LG V60, even though I know that Android do have something in that realm, it's not exactly True Tone. I kind of noticed the display big time, even though it looks more vibrant to me personally on my V60. But then again, you're talking about a 6.7-inch display compared to a 6.1. 64 gigs of memory. You also have the 128 and the 256. I ended up getting the 128. So if you see my unboxing, you would know that I ended up getting the 128 because I don't feel like getting this. 64 is not enough anymore. Like, honestly, it's not enough, especially for a person like me. I do use my devices a lot. I take a lot of photos, a lot of videos, and doing this YouTube channel, not having the best camera equipment in the sense of DSLR or anything like that, I do tend to really weigh in on my mobile devices. And don't get me wrong, I love recording on both these devices, and a little bit more down the road of why I like this one, but I would prefer using my V60 a little bit more. So then you have the 4 gigs of RAM, which once again plays an integral role on why there's a downfall to this device. And, for the longest of time, RAM didn't matter so much on an iPhone, but I think in this case it does matter, and it matters a lot in this case. Then you have 12 megapixel wide angle lens, which is the main camera lens. Then you have an ultra wide lens, 12 megapixel as well. You can shoot 4K at 24, 30, and 60 frames per second, and 1080p at 30, 60, 120, 240, which I don't get why at 1080p you can't shoot at 24 frames per second. I just think that's dumb. I like the fact that you get it at the higher quality of 4K, but just not getting it at 1080p, it's really stupid because the file is lower. Like, the amount of memory that's going to take up at 1080p is going to be lower. I don't think we're fully dedicated at 4K just yet. I think we're going to be there soon. But honestly, I don't mind shooting at 1080p. In some cases, I do shoot at 1080p depending on what I'm using to edit my videos. So if I'm editing my videos straight out of my phone, 1080p will do just fine. Even though I can edit at 4K, it's just 1080p is a little bit smoother. And then you have the selfie camera, which is a 12 megapixel camera too, and it is a wide angle lens as well, which, to be honest with you, I know it doesn't mean much because I came from iPhone 8, but the front-facing camera is hell of a lot better, and I really appreciate that. And you can shoot at 4K at 24 frames per second using the selfie camera, 30, 60, and at 1080 at 30, 60, and 120, which in all reality, I like the fact that you can shoot at 24 frames per second using the front-facing camera, because if you're vlogging, that makes the biggest difference. And looking at the specs, clearly the rear camera is going to be better, but the front-facing camera is not that far off. You do get HDR, which is a plus. Sound quality, I'll talk about that. And features, Face ID, yeah, we're leaving the rest of this out. So, the phone, as a consumer, let's say it's my daily driver. It works perfectly fine. I like using it. I'm more to like, if there was a meter for like to love, I would be close to loving it, but there's certain things about the phone that kind of upsets me. as the 12. It's not the 12 Pro. I'm pretty sure the 12 Pro would have been better, but like personally, for a person that's not gonna cough up over $1,000, and I know a lot of people be like, yeah, but you got the 128 gig. It would have been probably like 100, nearly $200 more for the 12 Pro. 12 Pro, but at the same time, it doesn't matter. 12 Pro, it's minor differences, but those minor differences, I think that Apple did, they did something that in reality, I don't think most people will notice. But if you're a gamer, you would notice. 4 gigs of RAM isn't bad. It isn't bad. And the iOS, the system, the operating system, is not that heavy. So normally you tend to play games and the games work and function really, really well with the iPhones. I was playing Samurai Jack on my 12 and I had some lag. And I'm not talking about like a quick lag and then back. No, I had some massive lag. Like, I mean, I'm holding the analog, well, the screen. I'm moving my player completely, like if I'm wanting to run, and it is lagging. That kind of upset me. Then on my Twitter, the first day I got it, I tried to do this video on the LG G Pad, which I did the unboxing for using this phone because I also wanted to try out the camera. And it gave me, when I review a phone, I'm going to push it the way I want to push it because it's in real life situations. I'm not going to go ahead and do these extra things that mostly nobody's going to do. I'm going to push it the way I'm going to push it as a content creator, as a person, as a regular consumer. I'm going to push it to that extent and do a little bit more. So when I was doing that unboxing, that I went ahead and I recorded, I shot the video of me unboxing it and stuff like that. I ended up recording it the opposite way. So it was almost upside down. And the reason why I did it that way is because you can always rotate the video. So that's what I decided to do. When I finished recording the video, that I went ahead and I tried to rotate that clip, it stood stuck in processing. But it stood stuck for a very long time. I had to revert and then do it again to see if it would do it. And still, it didn't do it. That was very frustrating for me. I even screenshotted it and posted it up on Twitter because that's frustrating. Clearly, I had to download a video editor. I had to download Power Director to do it because iMovie, you can't do it on iMovie. Okay, that's one flaw. Whatever. But after I finished editing that video that I went to go post it, it took forever to post up to YouTube. And I kind of had an idea why. So on my V60, I can post it, close out the app, and once it's loading, it is uploading, in the background, and I don't have to worry about anything because I am one of those people that once I'm finished with an app, I tend to close it. If you're uploading a video on YouTube from an iPhone, you cannot close that app. And you can't exit that app. You have to stay in that app for it to upload. That's a bummer. Because a person like me, I do tend to jump back and forth on things. So I can be, oh yeah, let me go ahead and upload this video, but then again, I'm gonna want to go ahead and read sports news, or I'm gonna want to do something else, or I have to make a phone call or something like that, and it's gonna stop the process of uploading that video because I got out of that screen. I got out of the app. I don't like that. Personally, I don't like that. As a multitasker, as a person that's very productive and likes to do multiple things, like if I didn't have anything else to do, I don't mind it. But at the same time, I don't want to pause what I'm doing or my life in general to upload a video. And now I know that there's going to be plenty of people that's going to be like, well, you got a computer, well, you have, the V60. It isn't the point. The point is, if this is your daily driver and you're starting a YouTube channel, we all know that these cameras are really, 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 really good now. And you can start your own YouTube channel with these cameras now. You don't want to feel like you can't accomplish anything because you have to wait. Okay, that's one thing. Then another issue that I came upon is it's probably just Power Director or whatever the case may be. Recently, I'm doing basically a quick review of the cameras and shooting video on it, vlogging style, cinematic style. I'm not gonna say cinematic. I did shoot a short. Was it with this? Yes, it was with this. I did shoot a short film with this phone, which you can see on my channel. It'll be at the end of the video if you want to check it out. And what Power Director, I had to exit out of the app a few times. I don't know if it was overworking the phone or whatnot. But with my V60, when I edit, I can edit a whole entire 25, 35 minutes on my V60 with no problems whatsoever. Those are cons to me. Audio as well. If you put it at full volume, I don't know if it's just my unit or what, but when you put it up too high, it almost sounds tingy. Like it sounds tinny. Like I don't know. Hopefully you guys can hear it. Let me find some non-copyrighted music just so you guys can have an idea. Let's just see. I'll have to mute this real quick. So that doesn't sound too bad right now, but it's like watching videos. Like, I don't know. Like, I can probably show one of my videos on here and just show you, but if you put it at max volume, it sounds almost tinny, and that annoys me. So that's another con. It's probably just my unit. I don't know, but the internal audio recording isn't bad. For video, it isn't bad. I would still suggest you to get an external microphone if you're planning to use it for vlogging and stuff like that. But all in all, the phone isn't a bad device. Just the cons are, if you're trying to use it as a content creator and you don't have a MacBook or a Mac PC or an Apple product computer in general, it's going to give you a hassle to transfer files. It's going to give you a hassle to do a lot of things. So then you kind of have to make it easier on yourself, but not so much easier. You have to do it all on the phone, which at times isn't all good. Like, I paid for Power Director. And while editing a video, let me see if it does it now. But while editing a video, it's giving me a legit hassle. Like, I can't hear any audio. I don't know if it's the app or what, but look. You see? No audio. Volume all the way up. And these are the little things that frustrate me, because it's like, then I have to revert to using iMovie, which iMovie isn't really that good on the phone to be editing anything. It's good for simple editing. Like, I'm posting photos at the end of that video so people can see the quality of the photo, but it's cropping them in, it's zooming them in, which kind of sucks because you don't get the full image. And then that means it's going to look a little bit more pixelated because it's zoomed in. Those things are frustrating, especially for a person like me. I may not do the best editing or anything like that, but I am a work in progress, and to progress. But using this phone to do a lot of those things, I feel like I'm regressing. I find it easier to edit, to do a lot of different things with my LG V60, which, you know, when it first came out at retail, it was anywhere from $900 to $950 with a dual display. And I ended up getting it on sale for $699.99, and it's a powerhouse of a device. You get more RAM. It comes automatically with 128. I will put the edge on the camera, and it's surprising because I believe that the main sensor on my V60 is a 64 megapixel camera sensor. But this phone shoots amazingly well, and it's so frustrating that it shoots amazingly well videos, even in low light situations. And I missed, the one thing I really missed the most of my iPhone 8 was the video stabilization. And I have it here, and I want to do things with it, but the frustration of the extra work that you have to do to create content with this device is very frustrating. And maybe it's just because I'm not used to that workflow, but still, you want to work smarter, not harder. And it feels like you have to work harder in order to get what you want done with this device if you're a content creator. Outside of that, it is a great phone. It is a great all-around device. For its starting price at $825, I feel like there's a lot of Android devices that will give you more bang for your buck. If you're an Apple user, I definitely would go with the 12. If you don't have the 11, if you're with the 11, I wouldn't jump up to the 12 unless you're doing like a 12 Pro Max or 12 Pro, which you'll kind of notice the difference more there. But if you're coming from like a 10, 10R, 10S, this is definitely where you want to go. And to be honest with you, the telephoto lens is not a big miss. I don't miss it. I don't feel like I need it, because even zooming in on the main sensor isn't bad. Honestly, it really isn't bad. It's a little pixelated, but you can work with that, you know? Outside of that, the phone is really, really good. So, should you go purchase the iPhone 12? All depending on you. I believe if you don't have an 11 and you're behind 2 years more, jump on the 12. If you want a legit upgrade, I will wait for the 12 Pro Max. But can you shoot some amazing photos with this device? Yes. Can you shoot amazing videos with this device? Yes, you can. Now, the question is, if you're a content creator, are you going to want to do the extra work just to get what you want done? Because this video is probably going to go up before the video that I recorded yesterday on the camera review. And it's because I got to figure out how I'm going to edit it. I'm trying to edit it on iMovie, but I'm not happy with it. I need some background music. I can't download background music, so frustration. But I'll get it. I'll get it done and make sure that you guys check it out when it is out. With all that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, I ask that you give it a thumbs up. Comment your thoughts down below. And would you purchase this device after everything I said? And subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Till next time, peace.